Once upon a time, in a land far, far away, there lived a demon named Asmodeus. Asmodeus was a powerful and fearsome being with red skin, horns, and wings. He was feared by all who knew of him for his wicked ways and his insatiable thirst for power. Asmodeus lived in a dark and twisted realm filled with shadows and despair. He spent his days plotting and scheming, always seeking to gain more control over the world and all its inhabitants. He was especially fond of tormenting the mortals who lived on the surface, using his powers to bend them to his will and make them do his bidding. One day, Asmodeus set his sights on a small village nestled in the foothills of a great mountain range. The villagers lived simple lives, tending to their farms and tending to their animals. They were peaceful and content, and had never before encountered a demon like Asmodeus. Asmodeus knew that the villagers would be easy prey, and he set out to conquer them. He began by appearing to them in their dreams, filling their minds with dark and twisted thoughts and filling their hearts with fear. He whispered to them, telling them to do his bidding and promising them great rewards if they obeyed. At first, the villagers resisted Asmodeus' influence, but as he continued to haunt their dreams and torment their minds, they grew weaker and more susceptible to his control. Eventually, they began to do as he commanded, carrying out his evil deeds and bringing suffering and despair to their neighbors. Asmodeus was pleased with the villagers' obedience, and he reveled in the power he held over them. But he knew that his hold on them was not yet complete. He needed to find a way to bind them to him forever, to make them his loyal servants for all eternity. And so, Asmodeus began to search for a powerful magical artifact that would allow him to do just that. He scoured the land, seeking out ancient tomes and hidden relics, and finally, after many months of searching, he found what he was looking for. It was a small, unremarkable stone, etched with strange symbols and glowing with an otherworldly light. Asmodeus knew at once that it was exactly what he needed, and he seized it with glee. With the stone in hand, Asmodeus returned to the village and began to cast a powerful spell. He summoned forth all of his dark magic, pouring it into the stone, and as he did, the villagers fell under his thrall. They were bound to him now, forever to command. Asmodeus laughed with triumph, knowing that he had finally achieved the ultimate victory. And so, the demon Asmodeus ruled over the villagers for many long years, spreading darkness and despair throughout the land. But even he could not escape the passage of time, and eventually, he too passed into the great beyond. But his influence lived on, haunting the villagers and their descendants, who were forever bound to serve the wicked demon. Even in death,